the Rangers Journal Night.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're watching this. My name is Doug. This is the Rangers Journal, and you're watching the Lowdown, your bite-sized snippet of information on our upcoming opponents, which in this episode is Hibernian HIbs, as we face them in the next round of the League Cup. A huge match, both in terms of qualifying for the next round and indeed in the tenure of Russell Martin. The fans are united. There is no doubt that everyone wants Russell Martin out of the club, and most would love to see him go before this game, both in terms of welcoming fans back who are starting to say that they will no longer go to games while he is the manager, but also because many of us, myself included, just believe that keeping him in the seat will inevitably lead to us going out of this tie, as Hibs sitting pretty in third, just behind Hearts, who have just beaten us easily. Could Hibs do the same thing to arguably more devastating effect, as it would put us out of the first available trophy of the year? Only time will tell. Well, let's have a look at how they might do that, or how we might be able to combat them. We'll start off, as always, looking at the current form of the two clubs. Damningly, Rangers with not a single win in their last 5, 3 losses and 2 draws. I mean, the two, including the damning 6-0 to Club Brugge and the latest fumble from the team, 2-0 loss to Hearts. Hibs, not a great track record themselves. They're also got a punch out for a draw, having drawn their last 3. Prior to their loss to Legia Warsaw, and a win against Livingston, taking them through to this round of the Cup. As I said before, though, in league terms, they are sitting in third. They've only played the 4 games, won 1 and drawn 3. Rangers, however, are depressingly sitting in 10th position right now, and indeed could be bottom of the league come their next league match. But right now we're focusing on the League Cup. And so that is where things are going. Overall record is reasonably good. Rangers 30 wins, 8 draws to 12 wins for Hibs. But they did give us some trouble last year, drawing a couple of games. And I did watch a couple of Hibs podcasts in advance of this, and they're confident they're coming. They've looked at Hearts, seen what Hearts have done, looked at the form that we're in, looked at the form that they're in, and they quite believe that they can come to Ibrox and win this match. So they will be up for it, and we're going to have to be. I was going to say our best. I mean, we're going to have to be at something if we're going to turn these results around. In terms of what to expect from Hibs, they've been playing a kind of a 3-4-1 formation that's quite fluid. However, it can drift to. Sorry, did I say 3-4-5-4-1? That can sort of drift into a 3-4-3, or indeed a 3-5-2. Something they can make subtle changes to their player positioning that alternates the formation slightly depending on if they're on top of games or who their opponent is. The wing backs pushing up into the midfield and one of the midfielders pushing up to support the striker if they want to make the sort of the 3-4-3 to be a bit more attacking, a bit more aggressive. They've obviously usually got the Cadden brothers either side, who do like to overlap and provide width as they get players forward. They've done that to good effect. Cadden scoring against Legia Warsaw in the game against them. They've got options up front in terms of obviously Kieran Bowie, who's been turning a lot of heads with that absolutely fabulous goal that he scored. But they've got a few players that they could play as well. They've got a brand new striker they've signed, 24-year-old Thibaut Kilje. I think that's how that's pronounced. Along with other new signings, Josh Mulligan, who at one point Rangers were seemingly interested in, but a player that we've missed out on, I feel, that would have been a good purchase. And Jamie McGrath, who they brought in from Aberdeen, who's been playing reasonably well, got a couple of goals and assists for them so far this season. They've got a strong mid block. They don't play the low block. It's more of a mid block with a strong press. They will look to harry us and get us off the ball, as that has been successful for other teams. They can be weak against fast and incisive counterattacks, particularly if they have their fullbacks have pushed up in order to support an attack. If you can force a turnover and then break with pace, then you can find spaces in those wing back areas to get crosses in, to get balls through. So with the pace of our wingers, Gassama and Atman, I would like to think we could take advantage of that. Miovski breaking on potentially Trimity if he's on the pitch. There should be options there to break and hurt Hibs if we're up to it. In terms of their danger men, I mentioned one already in Kieran Bowie, an obvious choice. He's got 3 goals already this season so far. Rating with good stats. Shots attempts, goals, defensive actions, all high in the percentiles. He's a player that puts in a lot of effort, a lot of graft as well as guile. And he can obviously, as we've seen, pull off a wonder goal and do things that or to attempt to do things that other strikers might not. And he'll be a danger to us. He'll really harry the defenders and give them a lot of trouble. And the more unusual, normally like attacking players for these types of danger men sections, but although the Hibs do have some other players that I will highlight throughout the season, I'm going to take this opportunity to highlight their central defender, Rocky Bushiri. A bit of a cult figure, I feel, or a popular figure at Hibs. He can be a little bit up and down. He was really poor in one leg against Legia Warsaw, and then he was absolutely fantastic in the other leg, scoring a goal. He has got 2 goals so far in his 4 starts. But he'll master their defence. He's strong. He can be quick to the ball. He likes to get it forward. He'll go forward and be a threat in set pieces and corners as well. So he is a player to look out for. If he's on form, then it'll make our life more difficult. But if out of form, then that could help us in terms of getting chances, and if Miovski is on the ball and gives him a difficult time. But I thought, as I say, he is sort of scoring goals and playing well more often than not right now. It was a chance to highlight someone that we don't normally talk about in sort of these danger men sections. In terms of Rangers, I don't really see what Russell Martin. I don't really see Russell Martin making many changes tactically. He's had the opportunity to do that and hasn't. So there's no reason why. Well, now, but I think after that result, we have to see probably some changes in personnel. I've not gone for any crazy widespread changes really. I'd like to see Cornelius come in for his first start. Given that Suter has been the captain under Martin when Tavernier's not been on the pitch, I would expect that Suter would probably keep his place. So that would give us a back 4 of Cornelius in for Giga, unlike the previous game. Raskin has to come back in. He's given them his game out. Now they need to get whatever this nonsense they've got, whatever it is, needs to get sorted and finished so that Raskin can be on the pitch where he can do his best work. I'm going to stick with Asgard. I think he could be important in terms of both marking players and sort of tactical rigidity as well as attack. But then I'd like to bring Cameron back into the team for his energy to help keep up with the energy and the graft of the Hibs midfield. I think he will be able to do that and while keeping himself available for more attacking thrusts. And then I think the front three continue to in my mind, to still pipe themselves. He experimented in the last game. Moore had a pretty poor game overall, so I think just go back to putting Gasma on the left. Gasma was also better when he moved back to the left. Ant-Man, let's say the two of them with their pace could really cause Hibs trouble in the turnover. And then again, starting with Miovski up front, and they could potentially bring on Trimity, depending on how the game is going. In terms of the game changer has got to be Nicholas Raskin. If he comes back in, I think he can help change the team. He can help drive the team. He's shown that ability previously. He is one of the best players that we have when he's playing in his favourite position, when he's on form. And obviously with Roswell having gone off the previous game, he may well be out for this one anyway. So as I say, Raskin for me has to come back in because he's one of, if not our best player. And Martin has to win this game, so you have to play your best players if you're going to do that. So it just remains for me to make a prediction for the game. As I say, both ourselves and Hibs have been drawing a lot of games in recent times. So part of me feels like this could be another 1-1 draw, maybe 2-2, and end up at penalties. In which case, it could go either way. Given the confidence that I think would be in each side, it wouldn't surprise me if Hibs came out of that on top. If we play like we've been playing, then we will lose this game. I've no doubt in my mind because, as I say, the Hibs fans are coming into this with confidence, and I've no reason to believe that the Hibs players will not be exactly the same. They're going to be right up for getting under our skin as well. They've got their new green and white striped top that I'm sure will be on popular display. So I think they'll be right up for it. They'll G up the team will be up for it. And if Rangers play the way that we've been playing, then Hibs could win 2 or 3 goals easily. If they cancel each other out, as I say, we could have end up with a draw in regulation time, in which case penalties can go either way. It'll just be whoever steps up on the day. We do have some good penalty takers, but there'll be some new people in there who may not. I don't know if they'll have many situations like that they've been in. So again, to me, that maybe potentially hands Hibs a slight upper hand, but as I say, we shall see. It's a huge game. We have to try and keep ourselves in this trophy. We should be getting to the final, semi-finals, finals of these competitions every single year, and aiming to win these trophies every single year. This is a great trophy to start with. If we can get it under our belt, then it could give us a lot of confidence and a real boost moving into the second half of the season. Whether that will be under Russell Martin, we will need to see. I don't really see him surviving that long. Will he survive until after this game? This result will tell all. There's just no way he can stay if we don't come out of this with a victory. So best of luck to the Bears. I know a lot of people will not be going to the game and watching it on TV, so do enjoy it on the best you can. I know it'll be upsetting for a lot of people not to be going to the game, particularly if you've already got your ticket. But understand those who can't bring themselves to do so. For those that are at the match, hopefully it will be a game for you to enjoy and continue to let the club know how we feel about its current state and its current management. Thanks for watching. My name's been Doug. This has been the Lowdown. You've been watching the Rangers Journal, and do remember that every night is a Rangers Journal night. Goodbye.